7 language facts from TodayIFoundOut.com. Number 1. The term Swiss Army knife was coined by United States soldiers after World War II. The soldiers had trouble pronouncing the original name Schweizer Offziehermesser, Swiss officer's knife, and thus begun calling the multi-tool a Swiss Army knife. The company that makes the Swiss Army knives is Victorinox, named after the founder Carl Elsener's deceased mother, Victoria. The Nox part comes from the fact that stainless steel is also known as inox, which comes from the French term inoxydable. Carl Elsener himself was originally the owner of a surgical equipment company. He later took over production of the original Model 1890 knives, which were previously made in Germany. He moved the production to Switzerland and greatly improved the design of the original multi-tool. His big breakthrough came when he figured out a way to put blades on both sides of the handle, using the same spring to hold both sides in place. This allowed him to put twice as many features in the multi-tool as was previously possible. Number 2. Miss Piggy's full name is Pigathia Lee, as revealed in episode 106 and 116 of The Muppet Show. Pigathia is derived from Piganthius, which is Greek for river of passion. Number 3. The USDA defines bacon as the cured belly of a swine carcass. Swine carcass. And if you're wondering, the difference between bacon and salted pork or ham is primarily just the composition of the brine that is used to cure it. Brine for bacon often includes sodium nitrate and saltpeter for curing the meat, sodium ascorbate for setting the color as well as speeding up the curing process, and brown or maple sugar for flavor, among other ingredients. Brine for ham tends to have a significantly higher concentration of sugar. Number 4. The term latrine comes from the Latin lavar, which means to wash. The earliest references to this word being used in English goes all the way back to the mid-17th century. Number 5. The term toilet comes from the French toilette, meaning dressing room. Toilette, in turn, derives from the French toile, meaning cloth. During the 17th century, the toilet was simply the process of getting dressed, fixing your hair, and applying makeup and the like. This gradually began to refer to the items around where someone was groomed, such as the table and powder bottles. In the 19th century in America, this term began referring to both the room where people got dressed and ready for the day, as well as the device, now most commonly known as the toilet. Number 6. The standard responses to ahoy, when used in nautical terms, vary depending on who's on the boat being hailed. If you have a commissioned officer aboard, aye aye is the correct response. If no officer is aboard, no no is the correct response. If a captain of a different ship is on board, the name of the ship is the proper response. Finally, if an admiral is aboard the vessel, the proper response is flag. Number 7. The first known reference to the term pop as referring to a beverage was in 1812 in a letter written by English poet Robert Southey. In this letter, he also explains the term's origin. Called on A. Harrison and found he was at Carlisle, but that we were expected to supper, excused ourselves on the necessity of eating at the inn, supped there upon trout and roast fowl, drank some most admirable cider, and a new manufactory of a nectar between soda water and ginger beer, and called pop. Because pop goes the cork when it is drawn, and pop you would go off too, if you drank too much of it. So I really hope you liked that video, and if you did like it, click like below and leave us a comment to let us know what you think. And also check out a couple of our other videos, which are linked to on the screen now, and don't forget to subscribe for brand new videos every day. Thanks for watching.